Hello, everybody. You are listening to the Mary and Joe Show with Miss Chronic Chronicles and Marie Tarot 504. Welcome, everyone.
Good evening. How's everybody doing out there?
We are having a fabulous night tonight. We're going to be sharing some fun new topics we're going to do every Friday.
We're doing Vault Friday here.
Vault Friday. Do you want to explain that, Marie?
It's kind of like when you're getting off of work and your week's finally done and you get that time, as both of us know as parents, and many of you probably out there know, you don't get much time with your friends. So whether you're on a phone call or you're going to their house and you catch up on what's going on, the things that are crossing your mind, things that are really grinding your gears,
That's
right?
right. That's
We get
right.
down to the dirty here and we talk about it. And hey, this is the vault. So whatever craziness comes out in this conversation, hey, it's just vaulted to Friday. We ain't ever going to talk about it again. Right?
We'll try. We'll try. But we are so glad you guys are here tonight. And without further ado, let's get this episode going. All right.
The Mary and Joe Show. It's exactly what it sounds like. Basically, sharing a bit of the canna lifestyle with the coffee talk. You'll hear interviews, reviews on products, a bit of my own personal life experiences, and sharing on YouTube for over 10 years now, being active on the internet with my own chronic illnesses, and many interviews in the future, along with a dose of a normalcy. We are a community around the world, and I bring you this podcast to give you a normal place to enjoy your Mary and your Joe.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Are you there, Marie?
Yes, I'm here.
We are having a token talk. So if you obviously see our intro trailer, we're enjoying a little Mary and a little Joe today. This evening, I am so happy to announce that I am smoking on some beautiful sour diesel. And
Nice.
it's very yummy. We don't get it through these mountains that often. And some free mac, which is what is it? It's alien cookies. Monster alien cookies is what mac is, derived strands. I want you guys to stay tuned because in the future I will be shouting out strands that I'm buying and the stores that I'm buying them from. So you'll want to stay tuned because we will be getting on camera eventually and I'll be sharing some of the bud with you guys. So pretty excited about that.
We're working our way up to the camera.
That's right. And the other fun part is, guys, you might be seeing me do some pop-up podcast in the near future. And what these are going to be are basically me popping on potentially, as less than 10 minutes or as little as an hour, maybe just sharing a little something extra. And one of the new pop-ups I'm going to be planning to do soon is a High Times cup review of some edibles that I was testing, and I have tested almost all of them, and so I'm pretty sure I can talk very in depth about the flavors and all the other effects, and some of them were incredible. So
I'm excited to listen in and hear what all you have to say, Miss Chronic Chronicles, on the chronic.
On the chronic, that's what I'm saying. And actually, I haven't reviewed yet which particular distributors have won the cup yet, because when I got the bag, it was the last day of review. So we're going to be having like a whole visual, not just the stuff that I got, but who other some of these brands you guys will get to know. And we are also open to taking on some sponsorships. So if you guys are listening and you have a product you'd like Marie and I to test for the show, we are open to that.
Just to say, if you've already submitted and we haven't been able to get back to you, we will shortly.
Yes, things have been busy. We're so sorry.
But please keep them coming, and we definitely want to hear from you. We are open, and we will be very honest, and we would love to do business with some of y'all out there.
That's right. In the past, I've done Fusion CBD and some other coffee companies, which those are already linked in my bio, but we encourage coffee companies to get a hold of us too. So,
Yes. Yes,
so we're
please.
taking it in, guys.
And if I could
But
just say to all you coffee people out there, I myself, just being the Southern woman that I am and no longer living at home, if anybody has anything to compete with Community Coffee, Dark Roast, and Chicory, please send it
yes,
my way.
please,
Please.
please, you can get a hold of
just,
us and any of
just
the things
saying.
below. I've literally put chicory, like, I've literally added it to the
I
coffee to try
just
it, and it's
don't
no good.
understand why people aren't making this. Like, why is this not a thing? Why is this only there? Because people do come in town and they drink coffee, Cafe Du Monde's coffee. It has chicory in it, even the
Right,
iced one.
right.
Like,
And
get it
honestly,
together, people. I love flavor.
when I lived in California, it was expensive to get anything Louisiana oriented. Like, even if it was just a themed New Orleans coffee, which is not actually like a special they had, you know what I mean? Um,
Yes.
but that's the thing. It's like, have you ever tried Market Fresh where like you'll get it directly from Amazon? Have you tried other
Yeah.
brands? I've tried. It's
Yeah.
bold, but it doesn't have the bite that I like with
I've been able to get the
classic
community
coffee.
coffee shipped here. So,
What? Well,
yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
been
have to
the
add it
only.
to our wish list, guys. So if you want to help a girl
It's been
out,
the only but again, I would be very open to try
that's right.
something else because if I could go and just more of a
Support local
variety, my
farmers.
gosh.
Hell yeah.
No,
That would be
like,
amazing.
hello, work with me here. No.
That's what I'm saying. No, I mean, and I'm a chocolate freak. I'm all about it. Now, actually, I have to say, just for the edible side of things we were just talking about, there is a company that I have not tried yet, but I want to do a review. They have a truffle brand. So they do like different chocolate truffles
Oh,
each time, and each batch is different, and each flavor is different. And they have terpene base. So it literally has like a little bit of the flavor of the cannabis specific brand. So I'm going to start probably doing episodes on just edibles too. So you guys, if you are in the market to learn about, terpenes and percentages and what CBG and CBN and CBGN and all the other things that exist, definitely look for those future shows. I mean, you, my dear, need to get into the CBD world. I really can't wait to introduce you to some products.
yes, definitely.
I mean, I think what was it? I don't know if I got to smoke any with you when you visited me the last time. CBD is actually legal across the country, guys, but you know, it's one of those things that when you're usually a cannabis smoker, it's kind of a totally different flavor. It's more like a cigarette. Wouldn't you agree? A little
Yes, I
bit?
would definitely agree.
Yeah. I mean, and I've used vape pens that are like CBD products, but they've got this like hookah flavor to it. Do you like hookah,
I
Marie?
do like hookah. I do not like vapes.
See, I'm the same. I like hookah. I
I
hate
do
vapes.
not like vapes, but I like hookah, so it's not about the taste.
See, and I like
I have
hookah.
this whole theory. Okay, let
Yes,
me
go,
just
go.
break it down. Screw it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just take basic science. Okay,
Yes.
the cloud. It you have precipitation, right? It rains,
Right.
then it precipitates back into the cloud, and then it rains again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can when you fly on a plane, you can fly through a cloud, even a rain cloud. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's look at the vape. Okay, it's liquid,
Mm-hmm.
then it precipitates, and then it goes into what? Into your lungs. Well, what does it come back to?
It's a tar, isn't it like a resin? It becomes
It's a
a
liquid. It's
yeah,
a,
concentrated.
I mean,
Yeah.
it takes basic, we're not burning it. It's
Right.
it's liquid that's being
The solvents are what the problem are.
right, and
Yeah.
it's being turned into, smoke or whatever. We're
Mm-hmm.
inhaling it, we're taking it in, and so those molecules are then, I mean, I think it's on any tobacco, any
Right.
type of vapes. Like, I really think that we don't have enough research, and it's the next generation, it's our generation, it's gonna take a toll on the lung.
I can only say from being in California for the 9 years I was using it medically, that finding my lungs are not the same 100% because I use vapes that were not what they are today. You know, they were very, very harsh and purely tasted like you were sucking on a, like sometimes you had to really suck too, you know, but you were sucking on a exhaust. Like it just tasted like butane, like for real,
Yeah,
for real.
I know.
So, I mean, I will say the long-term health effects, how do we know what's going to happen with that? But I mean, I hope I get to smoke for, meaning my own cannabis. I hope I don't have to one day have like what is it? CPO, or what is it? The lung issue. Oh, I can't think of the word. But like, you know, I feel like dabs, there's a question with that because it's very similar to your concentrates
Now,
you're getting. It's a
dabs could
thicker version
definitely
of
turn
it.
into the resin in your lung. Like that could definitely.
Well, let's just say this. I have now, what, for 2
You're like,
years
oh
now? Well,
crap.
I'll say this. I don't use pipes anymore. You know, I use steamrollers and pipes. I almost preferred it than a joint. I would get like nauseated smoking a joint. But now, as I'm going on 2 years now, since I had my tonsils removed, for some reason, I just much rather a joint. And I cannot smoke a joint unless it has a filter. So I'm very like, it's a whole experience now because the resin flavor is what I only taste if I smoke a joint without a filter. How do you feel about filters?
um, I mean, it doesn't. I'm not picky on the filter or not.
Right.
I don't
It
really.
doesn't bother your mouth. See, I hate that stickiness, that tarriness. Like even with a cigarette, have you ever smoked a cigarette without a filter? It's a
No,
horrible experience.
no,
It's
Jesus.
intense. It's intense, man.
No, no, no. For all you listeners out there, I've never been to jail. You know,
Yep. Yep.
that's the only time I can see
That's a
myself
good one.
really needing a cigarette without a filter, and
Right.
that ain't for me. I'm not. Y'all
Right.
haven't seen me yet, but that ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah, the person that I smoked the cigarette with was a Persian, and he just wanted the hard tobacco. It was very intense. Yeah,
They like that though, and
I
that's not.
know.
That's just a. But there's a
Right.
lot of people that really like cigars, you know. And
I
now
can't stand the
I
smell.
don't want a
Yeah.
cigar without a filter. I will say that.
Yeah, I don't want a
I'm.
cigar without a filter either. But you know what? Okay, can we have a moment here, people?
Go
Let's
ahead,
have a
take.
moment. Oh, we just got a thumbs up on Facebook. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, whoever's listening. I cannot really handle the fact that we smoke each other's spit in this community.
That's
It's a fact,
what
right?
you're
Doesn't
trying
even matter if
to
it's a spiff.
say.
You got to you got to lube that shit up with your spit and then you pass it on to a friend. It's intense. And then we inhale it. So I have thought for a long time, listeners, somebody come up with a little rolly that's got like a little water, you know, that doesn't go spoil. And you can like, you know, dab it like you're dabbing a letter, you know, instead of, I guess, spreading herpes or whatever.
Oh wow,
I have
wow! These
thought
are the
about
people on
that.
your searching crew, huh? Okay.
Right. No, no. Well, but you never know. Pipes. Pipes, definitely.
So the truth comes out. I'm not
Yeah.
smoking you ever.
No, no, no. But I think that's something I've seen change since COVID is the behavior of people like smoking together. Everybody has their own shit, you know. If you're gonna smoke with someone, you usually would just hand them some bud. They roll up their own. Here, you know. It's like that. I don't know if it's because our smoke's so cheap out here, but it is a weird reality. And even like in relationships, I've dated people recently who don't smoke and who have like still seen flower cannabis as a form of like roses. So like I brought you some smoke, you know. That's a whole new, this wouldn't exist like 20 years ago. Would have been like that bag was a lot of money, man. You know? It's a totally different world. Like I
That's
don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I did get flowers, just the perfect kind. I really don't want the other ones, you know? I was thinking about that. Like, It's a whole different world.
Yeah, that's a discussion. Flowers.
Right.
Okay, so some women really like getting dead flowers because
Right.
clearly they come to
That's
you
what
tight,
it is. There you
right?
go. Yes.
Like, to me personally, I'm such a like this is why I'll never get married again. You know, like,
Right.
this is why nobody's gonna stay.
Right.
Because I'm like, I'm so picky that I either want a live plant or like you're gonna really have to really know me. Like you're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
to really like screw my world all the way up, pick the colors I like really transpose me to where I'm like, I'm hanging this bouquet upside down and it's gonna be with me forever. I'm drying her out, you know?
Right.
Or else I'm just kind of like, flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Do you feel that way, or what do you like? Now, I love plants.
I
I
have
lo-
had all the things, but I've literally told people, don't bring me a teddy bear. I don't like that kind of shit at all. I will end up thrown in the
well,
trash.
I'm an
But
adult.
that's what
What
I'm
am I gonna
saying.
do
Like
with?
some guys think that that's
What am I gonna do with
take
a
it.
fucking teddy
And
bear?
then living in California, you would never meet a man who'd bring you chocolates. That's an insult. Like it really is. I mean, and not that
I
we
don't know.
all
I
were
like
looking for our
chocolate.
weight, but I'm like, damn, you bought me fudge, bitch. It's gone. Where'd it go? I don't even see it anymore. It's gone. But I have dated someone who owned a cannabis field, and he brought me a 4-foot pre-grown cannabis female plant, but
That's
then
cute.
yeah, it was amazing. He showed up for the date. I'm a vegetarian, but was really wanting some lobster. I don't know why I was craving it. I don't want it again because it was disgusting. But we went to Red Lobster because that's our options in this hood. And but he brought me the cannabis plant. We went on the date. We went in the mountains, ate the lobster on the side of the road, which was totally weird. Eating the lobster, like that lobster took a road trip, you know, to get there, to die, to end up in the mountains, and anyway. And then he decided we were going to go out of town, and we went. I don't remember which direction we went. California or something like that. I don't know. Oh, the east side of the country, and the freaking plant he left me got spider mites and died.
Oh no.
So how is it any better
Oh,
than
that's
the
pretty
roses
horrible.
you
What a
cut for
nightmare.
me, bitch? That's how I felt. That's a fact.
That's
Yeah, it
disgustingly
hurts,
horrible.
doesn't it? It's like
You're
it
like,
was
yes, it hurts.
so gorgeous, but I wasn't there to even take care of the thing, and my house.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
it was 4 feet tall, man, and it smelled
Yeah,
divine.
that went no good.
I mean, like, I opened the door and there was a plant in my face, and he's like, "You ready?" I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Let me
Yeah,
just put her inside.
right. That's what happened. Let me get my bags and let me get no. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but that's the only like plant that I've ever had that's given to me that I would like be like graciously appreciative. Otherwise, it would be like I've had flowers given to me on a date. I don't remember where. I think Louisiana. I'm pretty sure. I'll
Yeah.
send you a message because then you'll laugh out loud. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. That I think he stole them out of someone's yard.
Oh
It
jeez.
looked pretty
I've gotten a lot of
destructive.
flowers, and honestly, I will say my younger son's father definitely did try with the
Uh
flowers.
huh.
Like he found the purple roses and everything. Like he really did try. I'll give him that. But I'm just not a flower girl. Like I like plants and and that's the thing. Like it's a horrible reality. It's not nice. I wish I was just I wish I could just say I feel bad about it, but like when I'm like, "Oh god, like you don't even know me." You know? I don't know.
Sorry, hang on, guys. Be right back. Yeah, yeah, flowers. I mean, I think one of the sweetest things that was ever done in a relationship I was in. I'll send you the message so you know who I'm talking about too. But because you'd be giggling. But hold on. I was really sick, and this person was like, you know what? I don't know what to do. Because at first, I think the person was really just checking to see if I was like lying.
Right.
If
Like,
I
are
was,
you sick or are you just
yeah, because this person's insecure, unfortunately, and they're sweet, but they were insecure, and they walked some hot soup with no shoes on and a sandwich, grilled cheese, really good, really buttered the right way, squashed it though. Brought it to me in his hand with a napkin, with the sandwich and the soup, and then but walked it over to my house with no shoes and knocked on the door with like his elbow and was like, I just want to make sure you're okay. And I was like vomiting sick. So it was quite adorable, but it was like, what the heck? So I think small gestures like that are freaking divine because they stick around in your memory. But I've also, with the same situation with the guy with the big fluffy amazing tree, had brought me to a strip club once, which I think strip clubs are the bomb. I think they're great. It's like Circus LA as a woman for me. I'm like, let's watch these bitches. What can they do?
Burlesque shows. I absolutely love burlesque.
Oh, hi there, UFO. Thank you so much for joining. Burlesque is the best. I went to the Novotel, I think it was called. The Novotel, I don't know. Something like that, or Novell or something like that. It's 2 doors down from the Moulin Rouge. Like literally you can see the little windmill from where we went into, but this show. And that was pretty fucking cool. Like, yeah. I mean, I never went to one in New Orleans. It kind of makes me sad. They have so many.
I'll call her up right now. Bella Blue. She's the best.
Awesome.
She used to do this Dirty Dime peep show.
I'm gonna look her up.
Oh my god, it was my favorite thing. I went to it probably 8 times.
Really?
I mean, it was different performers. She would have different acts and
awesome
stuff. But yeah, it was.
Hold on, I see a newspaper article, and this looks like 2019.
It's called the Dirty Dime Peep Show, is what it was called.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I've been following her a couple years. I love her. She's great.
It was the best. And if she's putting it on and you're ever in the New Orleans area and it goes on again, if she ever does it again or if it's still on, or I'm not local anymore. But it is absolutely best and she's a crowd pleaser. She's a crowd pleaser.
Oh man. This is being a jerk. Let's get it going now.
Like she makes sure everybody in the crowd is involved.
Yep. Here we go. This is her. There we go. What's YouTube appropriate? Here we go.
Friday vaulting it. I'm not even gonna lie. I went to one of her shows one time with Jay, and I'm not gonna say any other parts of it. You know who. And anyway, so we went, and I'm not even gonna lie. All the way back, I'm taking off my clothes like I'm in the burlesque. I was in it, girl. I was in it. Like I felt. I mean, you just feel so like on top of it, like because that's the one thing I love about burlesque is it's not about these fake bodies that we got going around. Like these are men and women really embracing every curve. Like
that's right.
Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. It's all shapes and sizes, and it's really about loving your body. You know, and
her Instagram is pretty bomb. I'm gonna bring it up. I love her Instagram. I've followed her for a long time. She had a major injury.
Go love her. I think she has a Facebook. I know she probably has an Instagram. I actually think she's dancing somewhere in New Orleans now. If you look her up, I think she's saying that wherever she's at.
Let me pull it up.
Even if she's stripping, dancing. I'm sure she's putting on a show. She's a wonderful artist. Like, she truly is an artist. I love her.
Bella Blue, right? I'm having a moment here. Here we go.
Yes.
I follow her. Oops.
I love, love, love this lady.
Hold on 1 second. Followers. No, following. Oh, man. Why is it doing that? Okay. Bella Blue.
New Orleans, yes. I don't know. She might have a little show that you could show. She does little skits or whatever if you have her on Facebook or Instagram. Whatever, it's no biggie.
Here we go.
She is definitely a great one.
There she is. It's
I'm just showing a bunch of different.
oh, that's
It's
not her.
Google.
That's her man. Is that her man? I know, right? It's hard to. This is her. Naughty.
It's not showing it.
That's
It's
not
just
her.
showing the Google search
Oh,
for
here we
Dirty
go.
Poop Shit. That's all
Did they
her
take
on
her
Dirty
shit down? Those dicks took her shit down, girl. That's what that is, because she's tagged in it. You can't make that up.
What do you mean? You're looking
They
at the
took her. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the tag to her page. Bella Blue. Hold on. Let me stop this. Let me share this. That pisses me off. You know what? It's
Right.
knock on wood. I don't want that happening to me, but it just keeps happening to a lot of creators. So if you look in the title up here, Bella Blue, let me go back one. This is somebody else's. So then you go to her. It's gone. They took it
How do I
down.
get this to you? Hold on.
Please. This pisses me off. Like, you're just not fair. Instagram owned by Facebook. Okay.
Did you
Thank
get?
you. Oh, is that? Let me see here.
You could pull her up from there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. Hold on a second.
Sorry about the technical difficulties.
It doesn't let me click it. It just lets me pull up the
Yeah.
picture. So I'm just gonna pull up the picture and let people know where to go. I wish I could let you screen share. It sucks. We'll learn, guys. We'll learn. I mean, I've taken my StreamYard pretty far now. We are streaming to like 9 places right this second. Okay, save. Is this on Facebook or was this on?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, it's not gonna let me pull it up, but I can at least pull it up for here from this picture. I encourage you guys to go follow her. We are going to add
What other locals
this.
did you really like? I'm pretty sure I've called out DJ T. Roy from the Blue Nile, and he's also at Dragon's Den, some I believe.
I love
Maybe
Dragon's Den,
even,
girl. I miss Dragon's Den. Oh, they had
and
some
maybe even the
crazy
Caribbean.
events. I don't know the Caribbean. Hold on, it's coming up. So this is her Facebook. I encourage you guys to please go follow her. Let her
She
know that
also,
you
I
heard
believe,
about
has some
us.
videos and things like that on her
We'll
page.
have to feature her. Maybe I can send her a little message and see if she wants to tell about her New Orleans story, because she is, I believe, a native completely, right?
I believe so.
Born and raised. Like, and from what I understand, her history, she's done traveling. Hasn't she done traveling shows?
Yeah, she's very known in the burlesque world. And she's also had a lot of
Yes.
features in her show. So
Hey, can we bring on Loner Morrison? This is Ashley. Let me send her a link. Do you mind if I bring her on?
no, go ahead.
We love her. We love her. A little. She is somebody to throw some concepts and conspiracies and some real live talking points to. Hold on a second here. I hope you didn't leave now, girl.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Exit.
Come on in if you're here.
Right. Okay. Why is it doing that? There we go. Ashley. She has been watching our stuff, but we keep going on when she wasn't on. That's why I'm like, come on now.
Up, she said she's here.
Yay. Yes. I love burlesque. I wish I could truly. I sent you a link, my dear, on check your Facebook. I wish I could honestly have taken a class from her. She did like
She did do a
regular
lot of classes. She
classes.
had a school.
Right.
Yeah. I think the last hurricane maybe messed a lot of things up. I'm not sure. I don't want to say the story. I don't know the story.
And
So.
she's a strong single mom, I'm pretty sure, too. So she's got lots of history in the city. That's what I love. I would say my other favorite is, I'll have to look her up. Hold on. Bloody Mary. I know I keep talking about her and you're like, what? Who the fuck is this woman? But she's amazing. Let me bring up Instagram. Let's see here. It is. Bloody Mary Nola. Let me bring this up. I love her. She's nutty. She is amazing though. Does a lot for the city. And
Awesome.
is a big. Oh, we've got Loner Morrison on. Welcome, girl.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, we're doing good. How are
We're
you?
doing good. Let me
I'm
see.
doing good.
I'm gonna
Just
pull this up.
chilling.
Dude, it's been like what, 4 years? No. If not more.
No,
I think it's dude. We haven't
on a
me and
live,
her.
yeah, it's probably been
Yeah.
forever.
Dude. And now we're moms. Now we're
Yeah,
like still YouTubing it up, still saying hello to everyone. How are you
Pretty
doing, my
cool.
dear?
I'm doing good. Just me and my son and my cat.
And your cats. How many cats do you have now?
4.
Okay. Can you please allow me to share the picture of the fingers on your
The
cat?
thing. Oh
The
yeah,
strange.
I got really
She's like,
confused for a second.
right. I was like, I don't know if she. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Is
my
it
one
on this
cat,
one?
my newest
Right.
cat, Buddy, he's polydactyl, so he has like extra toes,
Oh wow.
but he's
I
like
think he's
20
got the coolest
pounds.
hands I've
So he's
ever
got
seen in
like
my
straight
life.
up hands, huh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's a big boy too. He's 20 pounds now.
Dude, you were like the coolest cat lady in the world. Can we just
Ah.
say that out loud? You guys need to follow Loner Morrison. I've been friends with her since 2013. Me and her became friends due to the cannabis community here on YouTube. Then we got
Very
stuck
cool.
in the, what would you say, not the true crime, the truther
Truther,
community.
yeah.
And then what else?
I was also
Uh,
in like the other stoner community, but they were like a cult where it's like you had to like be in this GMO club and you had to do what they
Okay.
wanted, and it
right.
was like it was a bunch of stoners that like once they were stoned, they never talked and they sat there all like done. It was kind of got repetitive and boring.
I
Oh
love
shit.
you. Once they got stoned, it was over. Oh, I remember them.
You're like, I need a bunch of high functioning stoners or this isn't gonna work for me.
Yeah, like I can't just sit
Right.
there and be duh. Like I
Like, we
want to
gotta
talk
actually use our
or
brains because mine's slowed down enough now that I can use it. So let's get on with this.
Right. No, and I have to shout out to Loner Morrison, my lovely friend Ashley, because she has went full circle sharing her life here on YouTube, like sharing her struggles with religion, struggles with addiction. You've been through the whole rabbit hole, have you not, on YouTube? I mean, girl.
Oh yeah, I've shared everything. My struggles with sex, men,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
drugs,
Right.
alcohol.
Stay
Right.
tuned as she keeps making me do these podcasts. We'll see what I come up with.
Right. No, and I'm gonna say I just am so happy you get to meet one another because she's a healthy version of someone who's like said, you know what, fuck it, I don't care if you guys don't like this is your silliness. People may judge from perspective because it's colorful, right? Wouldn't we say that? But you always have been deep. Even the drunkest person, like if you're drinking or whatever, you're always blunt. You always have like your ongoing approach to parenting is inspiring, my friend, and I'm so proud of you. I really want to say that.
I appreciate that because like sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
That's all
Neither
of
do
us.
we. Do you understand? They
Look,
just give
I'm
us
17 years in and I really have no clue what the F is going on here.
they give us a release at the counter when we check out our children when they're strapped into the car seat, and they say, have a good life. That's the hospital does. It freaked me out when I'm like, this doesn't feel like, it's a process of parenting is the nightmare. There's no hand manual for yourself as a parent or for your children.
You're trusting me like to walk out here and keep this baby alive all by myself? Like what the
Right.
heck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, so, but again, I feel like I believe, and I don't know if you feel, ladies, like, please give me your input, Do you feel like it's community that's been lost over the years that we as women are starting to come back to, like, because like I've had moments with Marie recently where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. You know? So do you feel like it's the opening, the vault of having the community? Like, do you have what is your advice to other mothers on the what the fuck moments?
Dude, I think like it's like the most logical thing is just try to be the healthiest person you can be yourself, like mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? So you can handle your kid and give that kid or kids the best life that they
Mm-hmm.
deserve. Because like you're
Mm-hmm.
still a person and you got to make sure you're happy and you're taken care of and you're thriving for your kids to thrive.
Girl, I'm glad to hear you're recognizing yourself. Like I think Tim might have been 4 years old by the time I like actually had. Well, it was a year actually. I think Marie was the one who watched my son the first time. Like I had never had a day to myself. So like,
Yeah, that's
right.
a lot. Like even if it's just a night where you like to clean or to relax and watch your
Yes.
favorite shows, like you know what I mean, just something that you
Don't you
can't do properly with your kid there. Whatever
don't you
relaxes you
feel,
and
and I'm going to say this from like parent to parent because I think we're all on the same point, and maybe I'm a little biased for saying it this way, and maybe this is a can of worms, but it's a good one. Don't you feel like what you just said is the point of like how some parents are overbearing to the point that they don't let their kids learn, and so at that point it's like you lose your kids because they're wanting so badly for that independence, but like you're only supposed to teach them how to be like thriving adults. You're not supposed to like, they're not an accessory to your handbag, you know. It's not a, and like I don't know, like people on YouTube, we've all come together and watched each other grow from being like adolescents of young fucking 20-year-olds. I mean, how
yeah,
old were you?
I was 25, I'm 35 now, so
Think I was 27 when I met you, but I had been dabbling off and on.
yeah,
But
I think I
yeah,
met you at 26, at
yeah.
26 probably.
And I just felt like when
Very
I
cool.
met you, it just felt like this, oh, there's another person out there who 100% is like, I don't know why, but the gut feeling I have to do this feels bigger than my rationalization of it. Right?
Pretty much.
Like I watched you develop into the model you wanted to be, and we both for a long time we're not sure if we were going to be parents, but like I
Yeah.
do. Yeah. I mean, when I called you and I was like, I'm pregnant, like
Dude, yeah, I was shocked.
you were like, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Right. I mean, and see, the thing is, um, that the period of time that I did get pregnant, like Marie and I were not talking as much at that time, so it was a little harder to have like my childhood friends. So at the time I was like I was connecting with complete strangers, but you have been always sincere, and I appreciate that. And you're always real. You always have been on every, I mean, and that's genuine. Like I want to say I hope your
Awesome.
channel, I really hope it continues to grow. Oh, look
Yeah,
at him.
I gotta work on that a lot more, but it hasn't been a priority as much as it used to be.
Well, if
Yeah, some things take a step back.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
think
If you ever hear us, please, Marie, sorry.
no, it's okay. Definitely come in. We'd love to have your opinions and love to hear you.
Well, yeah,
Your
like
expression.
Rachel was saying, like I just usually catch it and it's like they were live and I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, I'm glad you're listening to all our
It
crazy.
just yeah, I usually don't go on my subscriptions on YouTube. That's usually where I see it. So like I'm trying like every night earlier to just check my subscriptions to see if like you
Dude,
guys are live or
you fucking
Aw.
rock. Now, what have you loved so far? Let's ask. We're gonna put you on the spot. I know you have listened. So what are you like? Damn, girl.
well, I just like the banter back and forth. Like I've always liked when people just talk and be real and have a
Hell
good time.
yes.
Like because that's what I've always liked. I do like when people get on certain topic sometimes and stuff like that, but it's not even about that for me. It's just about like connecting with people and having a good time because life is short and it's good to make memories, whatever they
That's
may
right.
be. Like a
You're
lot of
the
my memories in the last 10 years now, almost 10 years, is online, is meeting really cool people. I still talk to like a few people here and there that I've met throughout YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and doing all this shit. And I've met some of the coolest people, and like not all of them have stayed, not all of them I still talk to, but the ones that I do, I love dearly. And even if we do squabble, like me and Rachel have never actually had a fight or a problem.
We usually I'm more like, that was a crazy decision in your video. Like this she takes her ideas to the limit. Like, I mean, what was it, mustard on your face? Did you do a facial with mustard?
Oh yeah, in the beginning when I was like just trying to do comedy at first, and I was just trying to like do makeup with household products, and
it was amazing.
Mustard and ketchup.
Is that video still up?
I don't think so. I think like if I search myself, I could find it like on a weird website.
Can you
like
please send it to me then? Because it's
I'll try to find it for the next time I'm on. I'll try to find some obscure.
We have to explain this to, because you understand this is a podcast. Somebody's driving somewhere and they're listening to this. So explain, if you could, in a colorful way, because Marie will die when you explain it. It's great.
This is before I started drinking wine, so I was just a stoner, and I was just getting into YouTube. So I was probably like super stoned and bored, and I was just like watching. Like, this is when people still like did skits and colorful comedy on YouTube, and it wasn't scripted, and it wasn't like big budget, or it was, you know what I mean? It wasn't what YouTube is today. Yeah. And I seen people doing like just funny stuff you could do at home, and I'm like, well, I could do something like that. So I just like went upstairs and I grabbed whatever I could find in the fridge that could resemble makeup. I think I got like peanut butter for I think that was like the cover up,
flour,
and then flour for the powder, and then mayonnaise, ketchup with blush, and then I don't know why the hell I chose mustard, like yellow. Dude,
you put that everywhere. I was like burning. Like, there's vinegar and mustard.
And then I just did a makeup tutorial, and I described it like, oh, I'm doing like, this is how you put your like makeup gurus would do, but with fucking food shit.
She put like the base concealer was peanut butter.
That's hilarious.
Then she took flour and basted it, and she's like, you got to set it. It was so good. Oh my god, why don't you put those old ones on TikTok, friend?
I gotta find them. Like,
to go. They are.
The thing that sucks is like when I went through my Jesus phase, I deleted a lot of shit. Please tell the
listeners, and nobody's judging. I talk about Jesus in different ways too, so we can be friendly here. Nobody's judging. Go on.
I've been through a lot of phases. In my Jesus phase, I was all of a sudden like, no more modeling and no more sexy pictures and no more videos that like wouldn't coincide with like Jesus and his beliefs. And so I deleted a lot of shit, and then I don't have that computer no more. So the shit that I did delete, I don't have no more. And like, there's so many times where I'm just like a little bit drunk and I go through my YouTube and I'm like, fuck, like, why did I delete that one video or this video, or like things that even like memories with my best friend Erin, like we made a lot of fucking funny videos, and I can never get that stuff back.
Okay, this is my guilty pleasure, and I'm not hating on Ashley. Nobody take it wrong. She knows that I just love that you're so brave with your insanity. You are brave. She did at her like 420, or maybe it was more. Was it 4,000 or 4? I think it was 420. Was it 420?
It was like probably the 420, because I remember like when
she took a bong hit of Tylenol crushed up.
Oh shit.
Oh, this is when I got in trouble. I think it was the Tylenol.
Do it. Explain it, girl. Oh my god. I was like watching it live, like, you're gonna die.
This is when when WeedTube was a thing, and like all the like WeedTubers were like getting a lot of subscribers and videos, or not videos, subscribers and views and stuff like that. So like I was gaining a lot. Like every day I would look and I'd be like, oh my god, like 50 new subscribers or 100 new subscribers.
You are a natural
like
comedian.
on the high. You're on.
So
the
yeah,
high.
so I got to 420 really fast, like in a month or less. I can't remember.
Yep.
It's so long ago
So
now.
you didn't even have
But
time to think it out. You were like, I'm winging this shit.
No, she'd be like dancing and like, I don't know how you did it. Like, it's incredible actually what you did. Like, it's an art, because as somebody who like respects dancers and whatnot, you were not a stripper, but you were able to strip on YouTube and nobody saw anything. It was incredible. I was impressed. Like,
I had some
people,
good editing software back
Dude.
then.
you were smart. Girl, she took full circles and nobody saw anything. How
Also,
did you do
I
that?
had smaller tits back then, so they were really easy to hide.
Oh my God. No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's great that like, I feel like you're a friend in my life, at least I can say for the YouTube world, that, and she's mentioned throughout my channel that like we've learned things that, I mean,
Oh, I can't hear what happened.
I don't know. Is she still there? Are you still
Oh,
there?
I was wondering what happened. It just like cut out. I'm like,
I
is it
know,
my
that's why I
end?
was like, and I didn't want to say anything. Are you there, Rachel? We can't hear you at all.
I'm sure she'll come back. It might be like just a connection issue, or
I don't know,
can
maybe.
you hear me, guys? Can you hear me?
There
I'm
we
sorry.
go.
Somebody was
Yeah,
trying
we
to
lost
call.
you for a second, and we were both
Hold
like
on.
unsure.
Yeah, and I was talking to myself, so I'm gonna try to text this person so they know, because I'm trying to continue the show. Hold on a second.
Junction. No.
Yeah.
Hey, what, baby? Hey, there's nothing up there for you, my love. I shouldn't probably give you whipped cream at 9:30 at night, so let's not do that.
Okay. Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I apologize. Yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully she got
That's
the message.
okay.
I tried to send the text. Anyway, what I was saying is tonight we were going to break into talking about some of the funny things we've found with dating in these times too. And I wanted to ask you a question, because here you are, Ashley, dating in these times as a person who's on YouTube, on social media. How has it been an experience for you to date on social media? Because I have stories too.
Oh, this goes back before I'm a mom, or does it start when I'm a mom? Because
Well, I mean, let's say when people knew who you were, because like, Marie isn't that well known, but it will affect her in the future, and I want her to hear good advice from us.
for me, it wasn't like when I was dating and I was in my promiscuous stages and on YouTube, like people usually didn't watch. It wasn't. I didn't usually find them through YouTube. It would be through Facebook or Instagram, and I'd be posting on behalf of trying to get people to go to my YouTube, whatever I was doing, modeling or something, and then I'd mention like, I'm Stoner Morrison or I'm Loner Morrison. Like, if you want to see more, check out my YouTube channel also,
Right.
or through Twitter and stuff like that. But people didn't really care about my YouTube and stuff. And then when I did date, like, I didn't really put like booty calls and shit on camera because I didn't want to have that on
Smart.
my channel.
Like,
I didn't
some
want
of
to have
that
memories
made me
of
laugh.
that. So like, there's a few videos. I think I don't even know if they're there anymore. That you could tell like someone is off camera and I'm talking to them, but you only see me getting stoned.
Oh, so let me ask you something. Sorry to cut you off, but was that a clout moment for them? Were they like, I'm dating a YouTuber?
It seems like I get insecure, guys. Like when I was actually dating
Yeah.
people, they were usually like starting to like not like that. Like there wasn't OnlyFans back then, but like stuff
Right.
like that.
There was
So, like,
Patreon.
yeah, there was. I didn't start that till 2019 though, Patreon, and then OnlyFans I started like last year. And but I was always doing my nude pictures and stuff, and I just email them to people in a bundle and get them to PayPal me and stuff like that.
You were doing it before OnlyFans was real.
Yeah.
Smart. Very
So
smart.
some guys that got attached, they'd be like, I don't like you like sending nudes to people, and it's like I get no sexual pleasure from this. Like they're literally, and it's not like I'm fucking like these are pictures I took with a photographer or I took at the train tracks.
Exactly.
I
You're an
post a
artist
couple.
at its finest.
So I don't mind like doing that. Like if I was to reverse it and think if I was dating a guy and he was sending like photos like that, I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as he's not fucking the chicks.
Right.
Well, okay, what if they, well, Wick, that's a whole nother bucket of worms, but I'm like, what if they were a porn star? Like, I have
I
enough
don't think I would date a
security,
porn
I could
star.
handle that, but I also don't feel like,
I don't know. I mean,
how do you
they are
feel,
getting
Marie?
tested and stuff.
That's what
Well,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
it's not.
And the,
I'm a very possessive person, so I
oh
couldn't
my
handle
goodness.
Right.
like.
That's the only thing I'm thinking. But I'm thinking like, I mean, if I went in knowing, I don't know. I think after a while, I'd be like, I'm gonna kill you if you keep doing this.
Right? Like, dude, like I
Or like,
want.
oh, you're worn out from work. I will beat you down. You know?
Right.
You're worn out from work to where we can't do nothing. Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong, motherfucker.
I'm
Right.
sure, like, dude, especially if they're on a long shoot or they've done a couple movies
Right. Like,
a day,
what do you
like,
mean? I've been watching you on set for 8 hours. Get your ass in that bedroom.
You're right. You know what? A man who is in that industry has got to be extra fucking mentally stable for me to ever even like think of the thought. You're right.
Well, I mean,
Otherwise,
it's a
what if they
different
had
situation
emotional
for a
issues?
cock than a.
Yeah, well
Like,
said.
I mean, you gotta either be on some drugs or you gotta be somewhat sexually aroused.
Well, let me ask then. Like, okay, so this is a whole nother wind of questions because I haven't, as your friend Marie, I haven't asked this question for a hot minute as a friend to a
Oh,
friend.
yeah.
Like, you were back we were back in the like, what did we do? We went to the quarter or wherever we were going, and we were like, we made a bet with one another, did we not? And we're like, how many numbers are you gonna get, and how many numbers are you gonna get? And like, I was behind, I'm the turtle, but I got them. You know, right? Did we not?
Right.
We had fun with that game. It was a game. So in a man's way, it could be back in the day, like how many did you get? Could be numbers. It could be like hanging out with you that night. Like, I mean, in this day and age, as like parents as we are, and this is not to be negative, and anybody listening, no passing judgment. You are here to be friendly, hopefully.
I'm
But
not
as
gonna lie to you, as
parents,
parents today, if I ever hear my kids saying, "How many numbers did you get?" I'm gonna
right.
bust in that door like fucking GI Jane. Like, what is going
I
on?
would high five my child. Sorry, I'm the other side of this. I'd
Oh
be
my
like, you are
gosh. I just don't
awesome.
even know about that. Wait until they're that age. Like,
Hey, I have
the first time
visions.
I found out that my kid was having sex, I was like,
Dun dun
somebody take me out to
dun.
the lake.
Right? You walk slowly.
Yeah, it's a
And you
terrifying
have a
thought.
little boy here, Ashley. So where are you at in life with this thought? How do you feel about your thinkings
Oh,
with
he's
your
gonna be a little
child?
gentleman. He's gonna be like,
I love
Yeah,
it. I
it's
love
real.
you.
Hey, you know what? My son definitely is a gentleman. He's 17. He'll be 18 in 2023. He's gonna move
Mm-hmm.
away. But he definitely is a gentleman, but they do get women. It's
Hey, my
disgusting what these little girls be throwing themselves at them.
my
oh, it's a
son is
different
only
world.
6,
It's
and he
so horrible the way that they are.
my son is only 6, and he just told me the other day that he said a new student came to the school, and I said, "Are they in your class?" And he said, "No, she was on the playground, and she is a preschooler or kindergartner, and I am a first grader. So, mom, obviously, I'm older." And I was like, "Okay," and he's like, kind of hinting, and I'm like, "So." Was she by herself? Did she not have any friends? Like, no, I'm friends with her friends. So we're all friends. And I was like, oh, okay. So they all became friends. So they understand. And then I took a second and I was quiet and I was all, do you get all the girls first? And make all the boys jealous. And he took a big smile and he's like, might be my plan. So I think he's always going to be that sweet kid, but I encourage him to have a little Like, I don't want to be trapped in one relationship. I think that's terrible when boys do that.
Depends on the
Trapped.
person. And like I have, well,
Yeah.
they're brother and sister. They're not together. Like that sounded really wrong, but my friend Allie and Aaron, like they were both raised in a really like good Christian home, and
Mm-hmm.
Allie ended up with her high school sweetheart, and my friend Aaron
Well,
ended
that
up
is
with
sweet.
his high school sweetheart, and they've only been with them. They've only had sex with that one person,
Holy
and
crap.
like that's like a love that like obviously I can't have now because I'm not a virgin and I'm out of high school. But
Right.
like looking back, I probably like didn't understand it back then, but looking back on it or like looking now on it, it's like that's so sweet, and like to for them to still be in love and to still like to not cheat and to like that
Mm-hmm.
that's not a lot of people get that, and I respect
That's
that
true.
now.
That is true.
So you would, in reality, want that for your son? Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that for him if he's able to find that. Like I'm gonna tell him because like I'm not gonna be graphic with my details,
Mm-hmm.
but everything I've been through, I want to save him from the hard shit that I've been
You know
through.
what's
So if
really hard though? Can I tell you something that's really hard? That's foretelling. Just because
for
I'm on
sure.
this end and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do either. It's really hard when the person that they choose and they are committed to that idea because you've kind of stonewalled that, you want to be a good man and you want to do this. And, I've definitely been like, lead by what I'm saying, learn from my lessons. And I was always around his father, even though his father went through different things and we weren't together the whole time. But then they choose somebody that isn't healthy in their own way, and then they feel almost responsible, and it's like, what? And so I've had to learn in this weird thing that I've had to tell my son, like, you're not responsible for anybody else, and like, just because you thought this was what it was going to be, it's okay if it's not. And it made him very relieved. And I never pressured him. I didn't know this little girl or anything like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't against her. I don't think she's a horrible person. And if they did work out, I would still be happy. And I was happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
But she had a lot of things, and he was feeling guilty about it because he really does want to be that gentleman and that stand-up guy, and he had lost his virginity to her. So he felt that's forever. And
Yeah.
sometimes I
Yeah.
think I want to say, like, as a parent, like, I know that earlier it was, what do you want to say to those out there? Sometimes it's okay to show the realness of the real world. Like, everything isn't always perfect. And it's okay to
Mhm.
show your kids that, and to be I've been very honest with my son, both of my
Mhm.
children. I've been very honest with them about what is going on, but always making sure that they know they're loved and I got them. No matter what, I got them. And I think that that's the best thing that
So
you can do as
important.
a parent,
No,
because
I
Yes.
agree. Like I fully agree. Like there's a lot of parents that
like
probably want to
sometimes you're
sugarcoat
not
things.
healthy,
Mhm.
sometimes stuff happens and you're not healthy. And at that point, like, you can't put up a front that you're healthy in front of your kids. Like, everything's great, I'm healthy, and we're
They
Yeah,
all
that's
feel
happy.
it
so
though. Like
You
unhealthy.
have to be
Yes.
very
they feel
real.
it. Like I was seeing, I can't remember what I was watching today, if it's a TikTok or what it was, but they were saying like they can see your face, they can feel your
Yep.
emotions, they can feel
They
your
can feel
energy.
you. They can
So like
feel. They
you
can
can
feel you
say all
a
you want to
thousand
say,
miles
and
away.
if it's a lie and you're not feeling it, like those kids are still gonna feel that energy, or they're gonna see it on your facial expressions. Like
Right.
it's
So
better to
true.
just to find a way to talk, like depending on how old they are, like whatever
Yep.
situation's going on, like to get onto their level and to explain it best in a truthful
Fitting for you.
manner.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like I like I even like I know a lot of like parents talk about Santa and stuff like that, and I'm struggling because David's getting older, and I'm
Yep.
like, do I tell him Santa is fake? Because I don't
You
want to lie to my son. Like I'm the one, and especially gifts are fucking expensive, especially in Canada. Like I don't want him
Yes.
thinking like some fake fucking jolly guy is getting him these $100 gifts when it's mommy going into debt for
Right.
your
Right.
Like, I'm
gifts.
busting my ass for these gifts, boy.
Right.
And like I understand like the
The innocence
whimsical
behind it.
aspect of it, and yeah, the innocence, and like make believe, but I think we could do that in other ways without having to do the tooth fairy. And I'm not dissing on other parents that do that kind of stuff, because that's your
Right.
kids, that's your life, and like I'm not going to judge that. But for me and my son, like I want to go a different route, and I want our whole life to be just like traditional but non-traditional.
You bought one of those rotary phones, isn't that what it is called? The circular
No, I found
phones?
that in an abandoned house back in the day when we were exploring.
Okay. Do you know how much that made me so proud of you as a mother? Because your kid, I don't care if he doesn't remember right now, but for him to actually have his hands on old things,
I know.
my son, it's huge. You guys can I played all the episodes. I said this in a previous episode, but I played all the episodes of Mad TV for my son. And
I
he's
used
a
to
little
love
older.
Mad
Yes.
TV.
It's
I
great
used-
for a kid. There's nothing really bad. There really isn't,
No,
honestly.
it's
It was
not.
great.
Like, I'm so
And
excited
it's so
for.
proud to it shows the funniness of culture and the things that we don't talk about. And so and to laugh, you are right. You know what? I'm going to encourage you as your friend, continue doing everything you're doing, but please do more comedy. You guys got to go to her TikTok. Is it here? Is it linked here? Hold on.
I don't just search Loner Morrison on my TikTok. You'll find Loner Morrison, like that's my name everywhere. So if you want to find
didn't
me.
link it. Look at you, lady. Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's hold on.
Look at you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to showcase something. I'm going to have to do it another night, but you'll have to come on and just share some of your favorites too. But she does the skit. What was it? The shaving one, the bubbles. What was it? I can't even remember. Why won't it just come up? How rude. No,
Get on
go
my
ahead.
computer right now either.
See.
I could probably try to find it on my computer and then send it to you in a Facebook message.
You're going to have to do that another day for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
well, that's exciting.
Comedian at its finest. You do the funniest skits. I don't even know how to explain it. You're probably close to. That's why I love the hell out of you. You are like a Tom Green, a lady Tom Green. You are strange. You're gonna get stranger. You know that, right? With age.
That's fine with me. I love doing the sexy shit sometimes, but comedy was always my if I could get people to watch the comedy ones that I did and they actually enjoyed it, that's where I got yay, I made people laugh. That made me feel the most happy.
Awesome.
She was choking on bubbles. I think that was the one, isn't it? And then oh
yeah,
my God.
There's 4 or 5 videos of that, because then I did the
so
Mrs. Doubtfire one where she comes out of the fridge and she's like, hello, that's my favorite.
But I think I found it. Okay, hold on. We're gonna try this. God, I'd be so happy if it works. So it's under Loner Morrison?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, it's probably it's not gonna let me sign in. I bet it won't. Oh, it will. I can look. Yes.
Yeah, I'm on my phone right now on here, so I
Alright.
don't know if I could actually look anything up.
I just gotta find your food stuff's okay, here's it. You nut and a half. I love you. All right, guys, you can't make this crazy up. You're so great.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. It's better than yours. I could teach you, but I had to charge my milkshake.
You have skills. You're so funny. And then, hold on. This is the bubble one, right?
Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah, birthday
This is
bath.
epic. You were taking a bubble bath, and then didn't you eat it? Unfortunately.
I think I put detergent and dish soap. I put everything in there to get that many bubbles. Dude, that was not healthy.
Not at all. Hold on, am I missing? Hold on, I'm missing.
Oh God, the things I do.
Oh man, too funny. Okay. Hold on. I'm not getting to the point. Oh, this is the one. All right. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Get ready for it. Get ready for it, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you in this? Oh, man. Oh,
I am fashion.
you have got this down. You're ready for the day, girl. Oh my God. I'm sorry. So this is what I'm saying. Please do more. Okay. You didn't. You did. You did the whipped cream. Oh, which one? Which one? Should I do the first one? Why? Ashley, you're gonna die one day from this stuff. This isn't good. This isn't safe.
When I get cancer, y'all better thank me.
Oh, oh my Lord. Oh, see, this is what I mean, people. You're gonna cry, laugh with her. Okay, what else did you do? You didn't shave your whole body, did you, hun?
No.
Oh, that hurts. Oh no, you did.
I
What is
pretended
this?
to. I didn't
Oh.
actually.
Oh man. Your poor baby. I get confused sometimes. He's like, Mom, are you in there? Oh my gosh, too good. I love you, lady. You're the best. You got to keep your crazy going. It's wonderful. The world needs
I
more.
love it.
Isn't
Usually
it
I
great?
just gotta find something that like just sparks the little thing. Like I could do
That's
this,
it.
or I
From
could.
now on sending you shit, and I'm like, I need your version.
For sure, like that helps a lot. Like because it's hard to
Oh.
come across that stuff.
So while I have you on the show, I would like a real quick question answered because I think it's a healthy debate. I'm over here like completely don't have a lot to add to it. Do you believe in aliens, Ashley?
Since I came to the truther community, no, I believe like most things like that are demons.
That's a good theory.
So
I've heard
believe
that recently for the Bigfoot. I've heard he could be a demon.
Yeah, even the Wendigo and all that kind of stuff I got into for a while, which the Wendigo one really fucking scares
What
me.
is the
That's true.
Wendigo?
You've
What
never
is
heard of
this?
that one?
No. Do you know, Marie?
No.
It's like a
Wendigo.
skinwalker type thing.
Okay.
Oh, that's not safe.
But I think it might be like, yeah, like the skinwalker, the Wendigo, like it's that shit scares me.
Okay, you know what scares me is that you know about the Winnipeg Bus Killer. Can we talk about that for a second? Because me and Marie had a pre-conversation, and I told her that you knew about this.
Well, yeah, I can't remember how many years ago that was now, but that was big headlines here because it happened here.
Mm-hmm. And
It's just
wasn't it a man? Didn't he eat the guy's face and things too? And
well, yeah, I guess like this guy, like, because I've watched videos on it now recently to get more
Ooh.
insight.
Well,
And,
then you're gonna need to do a whole episode with us, hon.
Yeah, apparently he was
For
having mental
real.
issues prior, and people didn't really diagnose it or anything. And
Oh,
his wife
shit.
said one day he just left, and he always did that, so he didn't worry. And he got on a bus, and the guy that he killed got on the bus, and then I don't know the stops or anything, but at one point they
Wow.
stopped for I've been on a Greyhound, like you know how they stop in little towns. Pick
Yeah.
up things, so they
Yeah.
stopped. People went out for cigarettes, and then they came back on the bus. And
Mhm.
the guy that got killed sat down in his regular seat, and then the guy that killed him sat next to him this time instead of sitting back at the back of the bus.
Oh, wow.
And just started
So he-
stabbing him. Like
So
I
he
guess
Oh
he
my
was
God.
wearing.
scouted this guy out? Like he was
Yeah, like just
"You're
out of
coming with
nowhere,
me."
like just started stabbing him and killing him, and people started hearing the screams. And by the time they went to do anything, he was already dead. And then they got off the bus, and the guy
They
just
locked
like
him in, didn't they?
yeah, people like stopped on the highway and they boarded the bus up so he couldn't get off, and that's when he was just starting to cut off his head and eat his eyeballs and shit like that. Apparently he was hearing voices and he had a psychotic break, but he's fucking free, and like I don't know where he lives. I don't know if he lives in Winnipeg or in my province or if he's in another part of Canada. They won't tell you, obviously.
Oh,
They changed his
no.
name
They have
because
protection for the criminals there?
Well, yeah, because he went under mental illness and like psychotic
Gotcha.
break, so he's not in trouble
Wow.
for that. And like they're like, as long as he stays with his therapist and keeps on medication, he should be fine.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you speak briefly on Canadian um criminal politics that you have, because we've talked about this privately over the years, but like you're the most educated person I know.
I think Canada is just like set up to just make the people that work hard and don't get in trouble mad, because you could be a criminal and do a bunch of bad shit and get out and then fucking end up killing someone, and people are like, you let them out on parole like 13 times, like they committed like
Wow.
like there's so many like just serial, not murderers, but like crime committers here that like just they get a slap on the wrist and then they finally kill someone, and people are like, all the signs were there, but
That
What's-
that happens here too, though. I mean, that's definitely the judicial system.
Right.
It's designed, but like if you do a low, I mean, it's crazy how many murderers can get out versus others.
Right.
and then like the thing about Canada too is our we can't protect ourselves. Like if someone breaks into your home and you shoot them or you stab them to protect yourself, like you can go to jail for that. Like
Oh my God.
we have no like the
Wow.
concealed isn't a thing here. Like we have really strict gun laws.
So do
And
y'all
they're
have a like problem with people breaking into your houses?
Depending on where you live, like I live in Winnipeg, which is like Chicago of Canada.
Interesting.
So like
Okay.
there's a lot of stabbings and shootings and like especially since the pandemic, I'll call it the pandemic,
Right. Yeah.
happened. Like it got worse because like people didn't let homeless people into shelters no more, and like homelessness became a bigger problem, and mental illness became a bigger problem, drugs became a bigger problem. So
It's
you have
already
more.
big there. Yeah.
It was big, but it's worse now, and I'm sure
Right.
it's all across Canada. But I'm just see what I see in my city, and it's a lot worse here. Like crime was already bad, but like now it's really bad. Like you can't walk through like a park at night. You shouldn't walk through a park at night anyway, where we are. But like
Right.
now, like you have even double chance of like getting stabbed or murdered or raped or abducted,
Mhm.
and it's just really scary. Like, and all the immigrants that they live in with no background, let in with no background checks,
Mhm.
no criminal record checks, nothing. They just let all these people in. Like, some of these people do have ill intentions,
Right.
and some of these people do end up doing the sex crime things, and like sex trafficking has gotten a
Do-
lot worse, and
The-
it's scary.
Interesting. Like horrible.
Does Canada's laws treat immigrants with the same rights?
Yeah, like as soon as you, well, they actually get better rights than we do. They get
Really?
they get free houses, they get free rent for a while, free schooling, free
Oh,
computers.
wow.
Or like transitional funding?
Like
from the
yeah, they get a
country.
lot. Like a lot of
Wow.
Canadians never get that. Like if you live in poverty, like you'll never get to the level that people that immigrate here get, and it's sad.
That's intense. I did not know that. My goodness.
That's-
Hold on. I'm plugging my phone in. If I lose you, I'll be right back.
That is
So
definitely.
yeah, like I think a lot of people when they speak out about it, they they fail to mention that, or they don't have the time to mention why they're angry at the immigration process here. It's not that we don't love people, and not that we don't want to love people and help them. It's that like we have a lot of people here that need help, and like they give all their services taxpayer money, and they take so much taxes here, and they just give it to people that don't deserve it. Like you need to help Canada, and you need to get Canada back on its feet before you do that. Like all, and especially like if you go into the issue of like the indigenous people, the
I was
native
just going to ask
Indians,
about that. Yeah.
like they've had their land stolen, and then with the queen dying and shit, like she fucking took their land and
Yep.
gave them fucking shit. Like I don't understand the
So
native
with her
shit,
dying,
like,
what do you feel is gonna happen?
pardon me?
With the queen dying, what do you think will happen now?
Oh, it's just gonna be the
With the
same
next-
shit show. They might escalate it more now. Like they might have an excuse now to do more evil than they've already been doing, but it's not like she
Behind
was
curtain, I could see that. I could see that now that she's not completely the signing off person. I mean, it's technically it's her son now who's in charge, right? Instantly, that's what I
I
heard.
think, yeah, Charles or whatever.
Hasn't
Yeah,
he already
instant.
been
He's
like
been
named?
prepped. I saw 2 months ago. This is the interesting part. I never thought it, I mean, Ashley can vouch, and so can you, Marie. I see news all the time that talks about, we've heard through the wire that this person is going to be Prince soon, or this person's sick with whatever. Like, Wendy Williams is a good example of what the hell's going on over there. Have you seen about that silliness? Like,
No.
that's celebrity, like, insanity. But like, I heard through the same gossip train that Henry Charles was being like coached to take on sooner than we
Well,
thought.
yeah, because they always knew when she was gonna die, it'd be him,
And
unless
what was
he
it
died
again?
first.
What kind of cancer was it? I can't remember what it was.
I have no idea. I just know they're all fucking.
Right.
They're like have stolen fortunes and they don't help the world. So I don't understand why people bow down to royalty when, like, at a wave of their stolen wand, they could
Right.
solve all the world's issues, but they choose not to. So those aren't people I want my son to ever like be like, oh, like look at this person on her money. Like, no, like
Right.
those are actually bad people. Like, you want to know bad people? Those are bad people. If you have the means to help people, help them.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Amen. Amen,
Not
sister.
exactly.
Amen.
And from the facade, I believe that Canada definitely makes sure their streets are good and whatnot just for the facade, but the internal problem is, like you're saying, they don't care about their people. That is British politics at its finest, hon.
Like, I would give anything to just have like a couple million to open up an animal shelter and live on a farm and just
Oh
help
my God, I would love to live a farm life. I'd love to homestead and never leave my house. But
I know, right? That'd be amazing.
that'd be
Right.
like, that's the dream.
Oh, well,
That is
man.
the dream, ladies. I mean, and Amazon's come a far way.
Right.
Like, I live in a third-story apartment. I don't even have a balcony. Like, it
Oh,
sucks. Like,
no.
I'm looking for places, but the rent is very expensive where I am. And it's
Rent
like,
is
it's
insane everywhere. And what's that? Like, what are we doing here? When did inflate? Like, it's just crazy. Inflation is insane.
I know, I seen my parents struggling and they had 2 incomes and I have to do it single. So
And
Yeah.
like, what is the average housing cost out there for like a one bed? Well, let's say a 2 bedroom, because that's average for a family.
So 2 bedroom, like if you don't want to live in a greasy, gross area, it'd be like I'd say 1,300.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about the pricing.
That would
And
be a
like
nice price out here. I was
if
like,
you
that'd
Not
be
if
beautiful.
you're
not
if you're
here or in
lucky,
New
that's
Orleans.
Right.
including utilities. If you're not
Oh,
lucky,
that
like
would
you're
be
gonna have to
amazing.
pay. But like that's rare. Like otherwise, if you want a really nice place, like it's gonna be like 1,500, and then you're probably
Yep.
still gonna have to pay water, heat, and electricity.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I mean, and where you're at, the city, since COVID has happened, what do you notice about the mental health of the community now? Because I'm curious. You used to talk about it before the pandemic. We were real open about it, especially the unfortunate situations you witnessed constantly. Was it the bus stop? I don't remember where you were at, but you were constantly see the natives struggling with drug
Yeah,
addiction,
like
right?
I was mentioning it before. Yeah, it's gotten worse. It's like there used to be a homeless problem and then it just like progressed. Like I think that's everywhere. Like
You
it's
have
been
tent
bad.
cities?
No, like
No, you
they
don't.
stop that when that happens. Like so like
Really?
tents
So
are
where do these
sporadic.
people sleep?
Yeah, where
Like
are they now?
you'll
Are
see
they just like
one
on the
like
ground?
bus shacks. A lot of the bus shacks are taken over because they get
Wow, that's
heated
so
in
Well, how
winter.
does that work for the
man.
people to do buses?
Well, you stand outside. You're going to work or you're going to school, and you don't have access to a bus shack anymore. Like
Oh, wow.
last year, I think it was when I was going through I had to go
Wow.
for child support and everything, so I had to take a bus downtown and go see my lawyer and all that kind of shit. And I was downtown having a cigarette, so I wasn't even going in the bus shack because I was smoking. And there's this man. We were downtown Winnipeg, and I guess a homeless guy was in the bus shack, and this was an aggressive. Like, not all of them are aggressive. Some of them I've
Right.
talked to, and I used to film with homeless people myself, and just sit and have a cigarette with them, and some of them are cool.
Yep.
But
Some of the
this
best
was
interviews I've seen. Go
this
ahead.
one wasn't. Like, this guy was in the bus shack being very hostile, and like there's a couple older people out there that wanted to like utilize the bus shack for its heat and to sit down and wait for the bus, you know what I mean? Not have to stand out in the cold
Right.
because
they're older
it was
people, and this
winter.
is supposed to be for them. Right.
I live in Winnipeg. It gets like to minus 40 Celsius here.
Jeez.
So
Kill me
they
now.
were trying to go in the bus shack, and this guy just started like wanting to fight them and beat them up, and he did that to a few people before them too, and I'm just standing there watching it, and like I don't film this shit because I'll only film once in a while. Like, I posted on my TikTok yesterday or the other day about a homeless girl, but she happens to be like not homeless, but a girl on meth. She's my fucking across the fucking hallway neighbor.
Hey,
That's the
that
only
could
reason
get
I posted
interesting.
that.
Not to be
But
insulting, but that could get interesting.
But
I get it.
usually I don't post them because it's like, why? I don't want to post that shit for views and
Right,
stuff like
right.
that. But this girl I know. But besides that, but like, yeah, he was getting aggressive and shit, and like you could tell they like trying to call 311 or whatever number to report like someone needs to come down here and do something about this. And that was a year or a year and a half ago, and like since then it's gotten even worse. Like if I drive by with my brother or my mom, like almost every bus shack I see, there's either broken windows or it looks like someone's living in there. And then if they're not living in the bus shacks, they'll pop a tent if they could get a tent. I guess that's probably a luxury. They'll pop a tent up
Wow.
by the river somewhere, like, and that's usually on someone's property or close to someone's property. Like
So,
people,
with it being so cold and the homeless problem, so
Yeah.
are there a lot of deaths in the winter?
it happens a couple times a year. Like it's not like tons of people die. But I think it's starting to happen more now with more homelessness.
Right, because they're freezing to death. Holy crap.
But the shelters, I don't know if they're going to become more available now that COVID's not as big of an issue, but I know they were limiting it because of COVID.
See, and I wonder, like,
Where's your puppy dog?
when I went to Denver in May and saw the Polish ambassador, I said this in a previous episode, I believe, only briefly, but it was the first time I've ever seen the only way I could describe it is like a tiny little city of cars and tents, a tent city along a sidewalk lined one by one in a
Yeah.
circle for over 10 minutes of a drive. And just one after the other. And this is Colorado. You're talking about 40 degrees negative. We get maybe like 18 or 20 on a really bad winter. I think the worst I've ever got was like 13. So to imagine, and I've seen these trucks and whatnot that were fabricated, or cars, you would say fabricated. They're broken down and they are made as a shell of a house, right? And it's like sort of like a fort. And it's wood construction, whatnot. Like, I think there's a lot of shit we're not being fucking told. Don't you agree, Ashley? Like, this is just not this is a problem. This
Well,
is
they
not
don't
something right.
they
I
don't
don't know
want
what
you
the
to like,
answer is, though. Yeah.
the answer is like the thing that's not easy. It's like abolish all governments and start over. Like we need to start
Mhm.
bartering and trading and using
I
our
agree with
skills
that.
again.
Yes. Yes.
But
I
like
mean,
that would be a lot of work, and like everyone would have to stand together, but like what could they do if we all stood together? They couldn't do shit if we all stood together.
yeah, what we saw in our country, I know that like a lot of people have their different opinions, but what we saw in our country over the last 2 years, I can say personally, and I'm not being political, is that people did exactly what they were told. That's it. And that's not
That
a great thing. Don't
that's
you
what I
think?
heard too though, like even if COVID doesn't like if it's not the end goal, like now they know how they can control people.
Right.
So the next thing that they do, they'll do it bigger and they'll do it better. And like, it just sucks to see how many people like bent
What?
down and fuck me up the ass because you're telling me, daddy. Like,
Right.
I've never been that type of person, and I'll never be that type of person, even before I went into like the conspiracy realm. Like,
Yeah.
just I'm really glad I was awake when all this shit happened, because if I wasn't awake, I might have been one of those people that bent down
Right.
it.
Right.
And like there's a lot of family that like I choose my battles. Like, I try not to make it awkward. So like,
Mhm.
I don't talk about that kind of stuff because they don't understand and they'll never understand. And
Mhm.
even like my brother and my dad, who do think like me, not think like me, but do believe what I believe, and they've been down
Right.
that road. They took the vaccine just because their jobs were threatened in Canada. Like, they didn't want to lose their source of income, so they took a vaccine that they didn't want to take, that they didn't feel comfortable taking. And
Mhm.
that breaks my heart. Like, even if nothing bad happens, I've prayed to fucking
Right.
God bad happens to them.
Yes.
But like, to force someone to do that against their will, like people
that's
have to
pretty hard.
realize, like,
For
And that's
survival.
happening. That's happening everywhere for people with their jobs.
and
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of these people too, like, you could even relate it to like being like, they were all like, well, it should be pro-choice for abortion. Well, if you're so pro-choice for abortion, why couldn't you be that way for this shit? Like, that doesn't make
Right.
sense. My body, my choice should apply for every fucking thing then.
Well, hey, can we bring that on, listeners? That's what I'll sign up for. My God. No, I
my
mean,
body, my choice is being lost.
completely. I mean, how do you feel as a Canadian to see what's happening in our country? I'd like to know about that. Not
America?
with COVID, but
Yeah,
with
go ahead.
but with American female reproductive rights. How do you feel about what you saw? What did you shake your head at first? What
Well, I've
honestly?
I've I've been open. I've talked about, like, it's probably more on lives. I never really made a video about it, but
Yeah.
I'm pro-life.
Yep.
I used to be pro-choice. I am post-abortion. I've had an abortion and I became pro-life after that, like years after that, and I met a lot of amazing people in the pro-life community. So I just believe there needs to be more awareness and help, because in Canada there's no excuse. I know where I live personally, you can get free birth control if you're poor. You just got to go to Women's Health Clinic, and they
Mhm.
will give you pills
See,
every month, or they'll give.
opposite here. Yeah.
So I can't speak for America because I don't live there, so I would
Yeah.
want them to have the same rights that we have. Like, I wish birth control was more accessible, but condoms aren't that expensive, and
Mhm.
pulling out can work sometimes. But from what I know, especially like having abortion myself, and when I did it, it's more elective.
Mhm.
Um, from what I've researched and from the people I've talked to, a lot of the time it is because I just don't want to have this kid. My family doesn't want me to have this kid. I don't want to put it up for adoption, or I don't want to get fat. Like, it's a lot of those kind of reasons. And
Mhm.
I remember when I broke up with my ex, my son was 8 months old,
Mhm.
and I didn't know what I was going to do. We were 3 months behind in rent. I didn't want to
Mhm.
get kicked out. Welfare wouldn't kick in for a month or two, and they wouldn't even pay back pay. Like, they would pay rent from then on, but they weren't gonna pay the $1,000-something I owed, because
Mhm.
my ex was a douchebag and wouldn't work. So I reached out to my friend
Mhm.
Albany Rose. You can find her on Facebook and stuff. She's banned on TikTok because she's an
Oh,
atheist and she's pro-life. So like, they don't want to hear her shit. Like, she's amazing. You guys need to like search this
they
woman up.
censored her. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
she's totally censored. But yeah,
Definitely
Albany
send her
Rose, like,
to Miss
I could
Chronic
say
Chronic.
she's like, honestly, she like, just like
Let me look. I can't see it. You're gonna have to send me a screenshot of it.
through her own means, like just helping people and like saying when people need help. She's probably raised over $500,000 on her own for people to help them when they need help.
Wow,
Oh, that's
And it's not
terrific.
just pregnant women, it's families, it's you know what I mean? It's
that's
just people in need.
huge.
So I reached out to
Right.
her and I told her that I broke up with my abusive ex, and what the situation was, and she said, "Well, I know this lady in Canada and I'm in America, so she'll probably be able to help you better. So I was like, fine, like that's awesome. Like, thank you. So
Wow.
she started a message with her, and her name's Laura Class, and Laura is a Christian, so she's on the Christian side of the pro-life movement.
Yeah.
But they'll help you even if you're not Christian, you know what I mean? Like, they just help
Right.
everyone. So she reached out to her and said, my friend needs help. She has an 8-month-old son and she's single now, and da-da-da. And they paid my 3 months back rent. They started a rent
Wow.
for me, and like I got like a year's worth of diapers and wipes, and I got some
That's
clothes from
huge.
them.
That's
And
amazing,
like,
dude. That's a
That's
wonderful.
so awesome.
Yes, let's definitely share their link. Those are amazing people. And if there's any of our listeners out there that would like to donate to a good cause, the 2 names that we just heard, definitely they deserve.
and
Send
I
me the
think, yeah,
link after, and
It's all about
I
paying
will
it
share
forward.
it.
the
That's
organization,
right.
I think, for Laura Class and the one that helped me, and they don't just help Canada, so it's choice for two.
Choice for two. Okay.
But
I
like, yeah,
love,
like
I love hearing that. I mean, it's all
I've
about paying it forward, man.
and they'll help anyone. Like, you don't have to be a Christian. You like, they like, if you're pregnant or if you're struggling, like they'll help families out. Like, you know what I mean? If you just need help and
That's what
you're
it
an
is you're
honest
saying
person.
you didn't have information, and until you had information, you didn't have any knowledge. Is that what you're saying?
It's just, I think people need to seek out resources more before like going to the extreme. Like, it's
Mhm.
so easy to just do something that's gonna fuck up everything rather than like work for, like, I think that's what we're taught though nowadays. You know what I mean? Just do it.
Well,
Like,
and I
don't think
also think
consequences.
what you're sharing is actually going to be very, very helpful for a lot of people out there who have no other choice now. Like, that's just really what bothers me. Is it's not I have no issue. We have Chihuahua issues again. Hold on, I have that issue, but hold on. I have I have no personal issue with people's choices. I only have issues with the medical necessity choices that people are not getting anymore. And financially, I know birth control is not available in our country nationally. I have personally some health problems and have personally seen myself struggle and others, and talk to doctors' offices in like different states where just to get a normal birth control to regulate my hormones for bigger reasons than reproduction is horrendous. Like, it in medical necessity doesn't have to be a child. It can be a medical necessity, and I don't mean abortion. I mean
No,
having
I know what you're talking about.
access. Yeah. And so Planned Parenthood, I have to shout out to Planned Parenthood because they were always amazing when I was in California. But the minute I went to Louisiana, I was told it was $300 to get the normal birth control I was using for years. So I was like, holy crap. And, and not that's not my fault that I want to be a responsible adult.
I
Why is
can
it
see
so
that too.
hard?
Like, I
Yeah.
seen a thing, like, if I ever start dating and having sex again, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like natural cycles or something. They
Hmm.
send you like a thermometer, and you just
Oh,
gotta like,
yeah. That's how
you
I knew I
start,
was pregnant.
yeah, like
That's
because they're gonna
You're
tell
going
you
to
what
get
temperature
warm.
your vagina is gonna be when you're
Right.
ovulating or not, and you know when to
Right.
have sex or not to have sex. Like, I'm gonna do that way when I do start having sex again, like the natural way, because I don't like hormones and all that unhealthy. Like, I have enough. I smoke cigarettes and I drink wine and I eat a lot of bacon and I eat a lot of cheese, so I don't need other fucking chemicals and shit in my
Right.
body.
I'm already doing enough to myself. Thank you.
I cover myself in
Well,
cream and
why is
shit for
wine so
TikTok.
bad? Why is wine so bad? Don't they show history that there's like mental and
I think
emotional
like
more stability with wine drinkers? Come
organic
on.
wine, organic wine is good, but if you're buying the cheap wine, it contains like sulfates, which are bad for
Ooh.
you.
Well, my dear, and
Okay.
you're actually educated about your wine. Like, everybody, give her a hurrah. Thank you. You're not. See, I love that over the last, it's 10 years now, is it not? I think it has been 10 years. We've
Yeah,
been
it's
friends for
close
10
to it
years.
if not.
Like, you you're going to continue to be such a good mom and such a good YouTuber for the community if you just keep being yourself, girl, and I'm proud of you. Like, I have no doubt in my mind you're going to keep like keeping the community alert. Like in the truther community, we've seen what's happened. They've split off just like the drama
Yeah, I was gonna
community and
say they just
everybody else.
they all split off.
I mean, are you following the Ryan Upchurch situations by
Who's-
any chance here?
Is that a country singer? Who's that?
Ah, we have a listener who has no idea. Yes, he is, but that's not the point. You should go down the rabbit hole. Just do some homework for me. Go down his channel, look into the Kylie Rodney case, and then come back and maybe you could be a guest because you're you're quick. You have never really,
Okay.
you've never put your toe in the crime community, have you?
A little bit. I watch a lot of true crime. Like I'm a
you?
horror, but like I love horror, so I got into like crime and shit naturally.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. What's some of
can
your favorite cases?
Dude, I recently I watched one and it really like just stuck with me was the Toy Box Killer, where he like
Yeah, go
stuck
ahead.
this.
I
He
know
like
this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, he like kidnapped this girl. Like she was a hitchhiker. I think it was like in the 60s or 70s. And
Oh boy.
first it was just like a box over her head, but then he like
Yes.
built a like thing under his bed. Like he built a box under his bed where he just kept her. But he had a girlfriend too, or a wife or something. And
Yeah,
like,
she was in on it.
yeah, like
They did it
dude, like that.
together. He helped her
Totally
build the
fucking
box.
him.
And yeah, and then they said like he probably had ties to like cops and shit, and like other people would come in and watch or do this
Oh
like
no.
do shit to her too, and that kind of shit. Just like there's like when you, because I watch horror, and when you watch horror and then you get into true crime, like it just makes you relate to like horror movies even more. Like you
Yeah.
gotta think like oh, some of these people have to have connections to be able to do what they do because it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So, being that you believe in demons, do you think that they're taken over, or do you think that them themselves are the origination of the demon?
I think we let them in like certain
Do
like
we let them in, or is that the origination of the demon?
it
Because
could,
there's
I
more
think it
than
could
one,
be
yes?
both. Because when you look at people that like get really drunk or do meth and stuff like that, like you're allowing your body to be in a vulnerable position to have demons take
Right.
over.
Taken
And
over.
like
So then, my next question, I'm sorry, I'm running on this because I'm like, well, let's think.
oh, that's fine.
So
No,
then
you're awesome.
the ones that, like, once you look into these killers' history, and it's like once they've had, because we've had a few episodes, I know you say you've been listening, mental addiction, versus mental health. Like, what comes first, the addiction or the mental health issues, right? And so
Ooh.
when you look into some of these serial killers, because you said that you also are into like horror and things like that, and there's a lot of movies after them, and you see that their childhood, some
Yeah.
of these, they didn't develop these sick fantasies or anything. They were normal people, quote unquote, but they were closet door killers. Those I could see maybe being taken on once they've entered into that addictive personality, and then they're being taken over. But the ones that are children and show signs of being sick and stuff, I mean, we have to start at some point. And I think your soul in actually being given a body, I mean, that's pretty deep, right? I mean, no matter how religious or unreligious you are, this is your body. It's your temple, and you will die, it will perish, but your spirit lives on. I mean, if you believe in that.
No, I
And
believe
so
like,
is that the beginning of the demon? And then will that demon live on and be able to possess other things? And that's what scares me about the lethal injection, because I'm like, oh my God, we're just allowing them to come back.
Oh, that's a good point. I never even
Why don't
thought
we just
about it
let
like
them live
that.
out their life and we keep them incarcerated? I mean,
But
again,
wait,
I don't want them
but
to be
wait,
set
but
free.
wait, but wait. Is it any different than the grave robbers that stole the bodies for these crazy doctors that wanted them after they saw them being hung? And so like were they the cursed little living what is it? The like Grim Reaper's helper, like in life? Because if you think about it, like there's like a lot of crazy shit that happened with the hangings and things like that. Like how long execution's been going on where it was like a freaking sideshow.
Yeah. And the Salem witch trials and
Right.
all.
Right.
Great point.
But I mean, even before that, we can go all the way back. Henry VIII killed his wife, like straight beheaded her.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, it's
Dude, there's
been from the very beginning.
from like, because now, like, even in the truth community, when I thought I was so open to everything, I would realize I was closed off because you're still around people in an echo chamber that just want to believe the same things but want to be open. And like when I got out of that, and now sometimes I'll hear things about flat Earth that'll resonate with me, or things about like how there might have been giants before, because like it just doesn't make sense that like certain things were built and then
Right.
like all of a sudden like now like we came into this, but these things were built before we got technology. Like they couldn't have done that without some sort of like intelligence or something. Like it's just so weird. Like there's so many things to watch and to look into, and there's so many things that we've been lied about that it's like
But
Yes.
there's so many things that are going to just continue to repeat because as we figure out more, they erase more. Think about all
Well
the things
said.
in history that we've known that were created in our time or, 100 years before us. If you really look and you really think in the perspective of time, how many monuments are being taken down and they're being erased from history. So where the sheeple that don't listen, don't take the time to think there's more to this story than this, aren't going to see those pieces.
I think that's why they recently took
And I
down
think we've been doing that.
the Georgia Guidestones. I think they're doing that for a reason now. Like
Yeah, they're erasing it. And so I don't know if that technology back then, there was maybe more that we didn't know about. I mean, like I don't want to get on it on this subject, so I'm just like trinkling it around because I know we're going to do an episode about this, Miss Chronic Chronicles. But
Absolutely.
I mean, there are definitely a lot of things that suggest that the primitive times, that there was more knowledge than we're
they
allowed
weren't
to really gain.
primitive. Like they want us to think that, but it's like
Right.
they want to keep us in a bubble for a reason.
See, and
Right.
I think about my great grandchildren. Let's say 4 generations from now. Let's say like 100 to 200, 100 years from now. Okay, 2 would be better, but whatever. Digitally, how much is going to be removed? What's going to be edited in literally like what Wikipedia has taught history to do? What's going to be edited?
I'm
Because we
scared to
already see news
imagine.
Reporters taking things down and editing.
Like I'm scared for my son, never mind for like his sons and their sons, and like I don't know, like
You know that you're going to be possibly searchable or not at all, my dear, right? For your great grandchildren.
yeah, like who knows
The way
what
you said that, I didn't mean it like that.
who knows what control they'll have, or what like fucking they'll be able to do, like what they'll be allowed to do.
Right. That's what's scary, what they'll
What
be
we'll be
allowed to
allowed
do.
to do. What
Because
we
all
will
the
be allowed.
experimenting that they're doing, as far as, I mean, it would be wonderful for us to sit here and be like, yes, we're all going to unite as people and we're going to overthrow everybody and everything's going to be.
Right.
But in reality, they're stripping us and they're slowly making sure
And that's
that.
saying it always gets worse before it gets better, and I don't even think we've reached what's supposed to be worse yet.
There
I
is no
agree.
way we've reached what's worse.
Like it's still gonna get a lot worse, and I've been warning people about that. Like it's just like I'm preparing to like
Actually,
stock
I,
food and shit.
we met each other at the 2012. That's when I met you. It was a little bit
Yeah,
before that. That's
no,
crazy. It's
I would
coming
have
back to me
just
now.
started. Yeah, it would have been like
I think you and I were talking the night when it was like, this is the end of the world. And I like stood on the balcony. I was like, goodbye, world, at like 12, December 21st, da da da. Like, when you look back now, that how long ago was that? Like, right? Like, we were told on YouTube, prepare like the Zygas stuff and whatever else. Like, programming's happened for a long time. Let's put it like
oh
that.
yeah. And the only thing I
Drip
want to prepare
feed.
for is like, because I do live somewhere where winter gets really bad. I need to
Yeah.
have like food that's easily cooked and like be able to be warm if I need to be warm with
Right.
my.
So do you have like a generator or
Like
you
I'm in an
like
apartment. Like even if
eh,
I had a generator, there's nowhere to hook it up. Like I'd have to.
yeah, that's
I
a
think my
fucking night.
I think my mom,
And
my
then the
mom's
thing that
boyfriend
scares me
does.
about a generator anyway is you've got to be able to get gas.
Yeah, that's the thing. You still need
Like,
to.
look, I'm generator prepared. I'm thinking out the box. I got babies. You know, like I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking we gonna make it no matter what. And um gas. So it's like
Gas is
crap, what
like
do you do now? So you gotta like I mean, I've got it down to a T. I can make a fire, no problem. But I mean, that's not gonna do you any good
Check.
inside. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't have a fireplace for God's sakes.
Yeah, no kidding. You're not gonna start a fire in your living room.
Right? Like I am so unprepared. But
And that's what they
um
wanted. Like I always see those posts on Facebook. It's like, why don't you teach kids like the real thing, like gardening and taxes and how to start a fire if they ever like needed to survive? Like, and that's so
those are
lost
the
on
things that we're
everyone.
supposed to know. But
I believe about the gardening. I do believe we needed to. I told my son about the taxes, and he was quiet in the car for 10 minutes.
Like,
The real quiet.
dude, I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys watch Naked and Afraid, but like I watch Naked and Afraid like a lot. It's like my favorite show. And I'm just like,
yes.
I would love to be able to survive like them. Like the people that can survive on
Nah,
Naked.
man. I'm not about it. I don't want no bugs in my cracks. I don't want to get my
No, but like
rag out there.
Right.
if
Like
it ever came down
I
to it,
am
like
really horribly disgusting with myself because I'm like, what?
I'm not
Bugs?
saying I'm
I'm
not
not
saying
having
go
it.
on the show. I'm saying like if power went out and shit like that, it would be amazing to have their skills. To be able to go
I
to a river and make a fish basket and like catch some fish and be like, yo, I don't need a supermarket. I just got some fucking fish.
yeah,
Like
you can
to
do
be able
that,
to
man.
I'd be the
I know how to
berry
catch some fish.
collector. I'd be the
I've
eating the
actually been
leaves
training for
collector.
this for a while. I
like
too like Naked and Afraid. I just know I'm never gonna be naked and I don't like bugs.
I hate
Ugh.
bugs, dude. That's like my irrational. I try not to be too bad around my son because I don't want him to have my fear. So like as
Yeah,
long as it's not like
that will
something.
project. It
Yeah,
will.
as long as it's not something biting me, I try to like be just like, oh, look, a bug. Like it's fine. But my mom is super like she's way worse than I am, and like every fucking bug that comes near her, she's just like screaming like she's getting murdered, and I'm like, it's okay, it's a fucking fly. Like,
So
Do you
I am
fine.
guys
really
get
great.
centipedes?
What?
Pardon,
Do
pardon
you
me.
get centipedes?
In basements and stuff, yeah.
I saw someone in New York on a live stream two
Why
different
do you not get them
times.
or something?
No, we don't get them here, and I just keep seeing other people in the northern parts of the world get them, and I just can't get over
Sorry.
them.
Yeah, they're creepy. They're creepy crawlies for sure.
No,
Like,
I think Louisiana gets centipedes.
well, I know,
I'm
no,
pretty
but these
positive.
are big as like your lighter or bigger.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can get like
out in the country, maybe not. Yeah,
I've only gotten
Ugh.
like the little like they're the size of like a pinky finger, the ones that I see here.
Well, I don't want any of them. What
I don't
about
want any of
what
it either.
about okay, so do you have like wild you're in the city technically. So do you have well, you have the wild situations of people. Let me ask about this because you're somebody who could didn't you have a background in substance abuse? I'm almost sure you do.
Yeah, I went to school for like to be a community helper where I studied like addictions and community service and all that kind of shit.
So, in your opinion, and I'm going to ask it in a two-part question because you really could give a good statement on this. From your opinion, what was meth and the situation you experienced from like a educational side of this from 10 years ago? I guess when were you in college? 10 years ago, right? Yeah, it'd have to be.
2011.
Yes, 10 years. Oh, geez. So then to now, because now I know your country's dealing with the fentanyl issues and everything else too. So meth and meth that is existing. I haven't looked at your video. I'll have to check it out after the live. But
Yeah,
I mean,
it's on TikTok for sure. You'll
I
see
really
it.
want to know
It's only
what do you think?
well,
Because
like we used to know about meth, like back in the day, like when I tried meth once, so I actually have that experience too. I've tried it once. But
Mhm.
when you just know about meth, like you hear about it, you see people on it, you see videos on the internet about it. But
Mhm.
you seen it once in a blue moon back in the day, especially like back in the day when I was doing ecstasy and acid and shit like that. Like we
Mhm.
used to look down on the people that did heroin and did fucking meth,
Yes.
crack and shit because we were partying, we were doing ecstasy, we were doing acid, we were having a good time and we were happy. And then like you see
Right.
these meth heads and these heroin addicts, and but it was rare. It wasn't all the time. And like now, like you could literally just be driving downtown, broad daylight, middle of the day, and you see someone right by a Tim Hortons, like fucking just quacking out, like quacked out on fucking meth or heroin or fentanyl
Mhm.
or shitting on the streets or
Oh,
pissing in front of
Jesus.
someone
Yes.
or causing trouble. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just it used to be rare where now it's probably like an every other day occurrence.
So
And
that
then what is that really showing our kids? Like that's the real scary part is this is the future and this is norm to them.
Yeah, it
Like, and there's nothing that we can do. There's nothing we can do to make it unnormal.
your son is how old now?
2.5.
My son's 6 and yours youngest is 9. Is that correct, Marie?
8. He's 8.
8. All right, now let's just take a second. We're all going to sit back as parents from this moment. You get to see all of us deal with whatever our friends of our children's family are addicted to. You get to, in your own
But
situations in life.
I've already definitely seen that and
Okay,
experienced that
okay.
with my older son. And you've just got to like, in all honesty, you got to be real with your kid. I mean, I honestly, you got to do whatever your heart tells you to do, and I'm not here to say that, I should write a book on parenting.
No,
No,
no, no,
definitely
not at
not.
all. This is
Please,
all first time. We didn't come with a manual.
right? But I mean, I really think that you got to be honest with your kids because I'll be very honest that my kid has definitely felt comfortable enough to tell me, hey, this ain't right. What's going on over here? And I think I'm glad that they're actually aware of what to look out for and what to not vibe with, because a lot of kids are very naive and it's a hard topic to touch,
Well, I mean, what would you
mental
say?
health and addiction. Like their parents are people and you're
Right.
allowing your kid to be friends with this kid because they're friends, but they got a whole bunch of people with them. And
This
as a
is
single mother, it's
right.
very intimidating out there because families will tend to attach if they're just weirdos.
Well,
Weirdos will attach to your kid.
are we in the day and age that we have to remove our children from getting to know innocent children because of their
Well, you're
non-innocent parents? That's
definitely
my question here. The
I think it
answer is
depends
that.
too. I might, for me, because even before I had kids, I said I was going to homeschool. And now that I have a son, I know I'm going to homeschool, especially with what's going on in Canada.
Right.
So I know like when I want David to socialize, it's going to be through the play groups that I add him to when I talk to other moms and we plan things. So
Right.
his friends are going to be a little bit more planned, so I might have a little bit of an easier time with that. It's not going to just be random kids that he meets in school or at recess or you know what I mean, like, and there's disadvantages and advantages to that because like
Mhm.
I hated school. I fucking hated school, but I did like the socializing aspect of it, and David's going to miss out on that.
Right.
Um, but I'm gonna make sure I take him on a lot of field trips, and I'm gonna join him to like gyms and whatever sports or arts or whatever the fuck he wants to do. I'm going to make him do it, or I'm gonna
You're
let him
going to
do it.
find other communities though, I'm sure, because you're vocal and you are an
Yeah,
active mom.
and if he
Guys,
doesn't want to join
go.
anything, I'm going to have to tell him like like you can't just sit at home and do nothing after we're done school and learning. Like I want you to either do arts or sports or
Yes.
music or something. Like
Music.
he has to
Yep.
join something. Like I want him to be active in something because keeps your brain going, that keeps you out of trouble. Like, I want him to find a passion in something.
I do think though you're going to be a great example as a mom to show him like he can have lasting digital relationships with other kids that might be going through the whole same thing, because don't you think that there are going to be more and more people that are thinking like you? Like I've said, people either like it or don't like it, but I have said, if we have another lockdown, I'm not taking my son through this journey of hell. I'm not. I'm going to just go
Right?
forward and homeschool until it's normal again for people, because it was very emotionally, it was destructive for my son. He had nightmares the whole time. It was horrible. He thought
I
he
just
had a cold before the actual pandemic happened, and he
That's
literally
the thing
thought,
too, like the
yeah,
fear mongering and the weird things they're
yes,
teaching people. Like, I don't want my son to come home and be like thinking certain things are normal when they're not. Like, I don't want him to be full of fear. I don't want him to think like weird pronoun. Like, I don't know your guys' opinions, but for me, like, I don't want him to like worry about pronouns and like people's pronouns and
right,
people transitioning at such a young age. Like, he doesn't have to worry about those kind of things. That's not a thing kids should worry about. They should be fucking kids.
right,
Like, if you're letting kids want to transition, like, they could be a fucking unicorn because their
yes,
imagination are like rampant at that time and they don't know what they're deciding. If you
right.
would have let me decided what I wanted to be when I was 5 years old, I would have probably been a boy fucking turtle.
Some
Like,
children are trying to please their parents. That's what I have seen, and if it's like a if it's encouraged, sometimes it's, if it's not healthy with like a
that
therapist
could
in
make
the
sense
right
though, 'cause
ways.
there are some kids that just want to please, right? And they
Right. And then the parent thinks, okay, I'm going to nurture this situation to the point. I think if a child, especially if a child in its teen years decides it wants to transition, that's their choice. But in the
well, that's
early
different. Once they
pubescent,
get
it's
the
troublesome for me as a parent.
and I'd say
But
I
I
think
like
let my son wear pink.
I think you
like
should let them just be who they are. But as far as like
when it comes
medically ever
yeah,
Yeah.
concerning,
you
I
know,
think that you should wait until they're the legal age. It's like a lot of different things, like you can definitely support, and again, it's hard for me to say things, but like I can just speak from my own experience with Shane, like as far as tattoos were concerned. I strictly was like, hey man, when you're 18, I mean, I'm not a hypocrite. You do what you want with your body, it's
yes,
yours.
exactly.
And I'll be here with
Right.
you, but we're going to wait until you're 18 and you can really choose something that you want.
Right.
That's
But
all I
with
want to
that
say
being
because
said, go ahead. What were you saying?
for like even for like because I was a pothead at 14, 15, and like I didn't know things. I didn't listen to things because I was 15. I was stubborn. But like your brain doesn't fully develop till you're an adult. And you shouldn't fucking fuck it up with things until your brain is fully developed because you are
Right.
messing with it. So that's what I would tell my son. If he wants to experiment with weed at 16 and stuff, I'll be like, you know what? Like I did it, but it's not a good idea. Like it's not gonna you're not gonna be retarded, but
Yeah.
it will do something to your brain where
Alter
you're not
things,
gonna
right?
yeah, you're not gonna fully develop to the person you're supposed to be. Like I would just wait. Like there's no harm in waiting till you're 18. Like
Right.
I could
Right.
like
But what I do want to say is there are also exceptions to the rule. And like for instance, I'm going to say exactly what I've done. I had always stated no, you cannot have a tattoo. However, when his father passed away, I did let him get something in remembrance of him. And I felt like
that's
because
yeah.
he felt that and he wanted that and he was 17, I waited
That's
until he was 17.
that's
But to
sad.
me,
I'm sorry
that
you're going
that's
through
where you
that.
make the exception. As well as I do want to say, when I was younger, I had a lot of medical issues, and my dad had to make decisions, because they wanted to have me on. I have gastrointestinal disease and the beginning of Crohn's as a child. And so my dad had to make a lot of decisions. And I think there's always exceptions to the rule in those kind of circumstances. But in like typical circumstances, like, yeah, I just want to try some bud.
Right.
You got to be honest with your kids. Like this is what it is. Your brain's not done developing.
David.
You got to get it together. I mean, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, "Oh, I'm going to banish you from this house if I catch you smoking weed." But at the same time,
Yeah.
that's not. Think about it. Think about it logically. You know.
Right. You know what though? My mother wasn't around later in life, but I really do wish I could have had the older years of being high with her, an actual like laughing and being silly with my mom. I
Right.
had it at an adolescent time. I don't fault her for allowing me to do it early, but I also know why she did that is that I would have very easily could actually the first time I ever used cannabis, I used a bong. That was way too much for a little girl. I was 12 years old and I took a
Oh, wow.
bong hit, and the man that was with me, the teenager, much older, not appropriate in any way, started to go ahead and rape me, and he did not fulfill it, but I pushed my way out of I was so like couldn't take, like the room was spinning, you know what I mean? So hell if I know
Right.
if it was even laced the first time, but the point is that like I think if you like acid and things like that, we were talking about the other episode, it's really terrifying. Like, how do we know that doesn't leave a lasting effect? What's your opinion, Ashley, about like psychedelics other than cannabis on the brain
Like acid shit?
when it's developing? Yes.
Um, wouldn't I started doing psychedelics probably when I was like 17, 18.
Mhm.
I think if you're not like abusing it, it could be fine. Like especially if you're just microdosing. But
Smart.
I think it depends on the person because I had friends that when they couldn't get acid or they couldn't get that kind of stuff, they would turn to meth or they turn to crack
Oh
or
shit.
That's just
you know what I mean? Like
sad.
so it does depend on the person and how they were raised because when I
It
couldn't
also
find
just depends on your like makeup. Like if you got that addictive personality problem.
Well, I have an addictive personality, but I didn't want to do crack and meth when I
Right.
couldn't find what I needed. Like if I couldn't find acid and we couldn't do acid that night, I was fine. I'd go home and I'd smoke weed and I'd listen to Janis Joplin in the Doors.
Drink.
But my friends would be
Yeah.
up all night doing meth, and
Jeez.
so and I always wondered like what makes people like that different. Like I know it wasn't the upbringing because I think it's just your like you said your genetic makeup. Like it depends
Right.
on the
Like there's got to
person.
be something. See, for me, I know I have an addictive personality, so that always turned me off the idea of even trying it. Like I was like, nah, that ain't the life for me. You know,
Here,
like
can I throw something out even though we've already pushed this episode pretty long? I want to thank you guys for listening, but can I throw this in the water? Maybe this will be an extended episode. Maybe you can come on again. I think sex
Sure.
addiction exists really more than we all talk about. Like, we might not all discuss it. Yep, we're quietly sex addicts.
Oh, for
I raise
sure.
my
yeah,
hand. I'm
definitely.
very much
I
sex
would
addict. I have to
definitely
stop.
say yes, 100%.
Dude, I know I talked about it openly when I did my YouTube and shit like that.
Yeah.
When I did my lives, like when I was in my promiscuous stage, guys were like I did the belt thing, like a notch on my belt kind of thing. Like I was just out for numbers and
We were
if I
just
could get
saying.
you and
Yep.
fuck you, I was done.
You're like, haha, I got my conquest. Right?
That was
Yep.
fun.
Right. I'm sorry. I get off on that too. It's terrible. But here is another fact. Now that you've had all these years, all of you ladies, with experience of seeing, like, okay, different relationships, we've all been through that. They've had different addictions. We've already talked about that in other episodes. For you, Ashley, and for you, Marie, what in today's dating world do you look for to know that like this is worth your time? What makes you interested in a person? That's a very hard question, but I
Well,
have
I'm
a
pretty
question.
close-minded to people these days,
Yep.
so
For me, it's very simple. I want you to be un-COVID vaccinated. Very important.
Right.
yeah,
And
that's important.
I want you to be in the truther community somewhat because I don't want to be with someone that like when I'm talking about this shit because I'm very into it. I don't want you to be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have
Right.
someone that can
Show
talk to
respect.
me about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That makes
And
sense.
obviously someone that likes cats and kids because I have a 2-year-old son and I have 4 cats.
I love you. You're so silly. And can handle
So-
your silly can't
Oh yeah, and someone that's someone that doesn't want to change me. Like my ex,
somebody who's like, I'm grabbing the camera and let me help you out, girl. That's
yeah,
where
like
is that
my
guy?
ex hated when I cut my hair short, so it made me want to cut my hair short. My ex hated when my hair was colors. Like right now it's brown again because I got sick of colors. And I do like being brunette sometimes, but I don't like when I do a nice hair color job, like when I had
Right.
rainbow hair or when I had like really cool hair. I don't want you to be like, "Oh, I miss your brown hair." I want you to be like, "Holy fuck, you did a really good job. Like that's amazing."
Right.
Like that looks really cool. I don't want some
Encouragement.
Yeah, like that was a big thing with my ex. Like I fucking hated that. Like yeah, he had a big dick, but like a big dick only goes so far when you're fucking dumb and fucking retarded.
Right. Yep. Relationships that are static like that, they don't get anywhere. No, if
Yeah.
you're literally trying to convince them to remind you of why you're interested in one another. I hate that. I'm sorry, I have to say it. In relationships I found over and over, and I'm sure, you guys understand, where you like, they love you for who you are. They really want to keep you in their life. But the minute you're exactly who you are, like you said, they start to change you in their teeny tiny little ways. And it really
Yes.
is their insecurities. That's straight up what it is.
And they're projecting it.
100%. And molding you into a person they're going to actually hate.
Yeah, because then they're wondering, why are you so bitchy? Why are you so this? Because I'm not myself anymore. Because I'm unhappy. Because, like,
I'm performing for you as this like magical centerpiece that you wish you had.
not a fucking sock puppet. Like, dude.
Right.
Oh, it's so good.
What the fuck? Well, I hope that you'll come back and do this with us again. This was a lot
For
of fun.
sure. It was really fun.
We'll have to get you on and do a literal episode of Truther. Everything and anything. You're the best.
Oh, I could talk about anything.
Hey, I'm gonna start doing some pop-up podcasts. So if you see me on, feel free to send me a message,
Dude, send me a message
Heck
like an hour before so I could like be ready, like so I know
Hell
like
yes.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, she's a good mod too. Did I ever make you a mod? Holy crap,
Yeah.
man. This is old days. Did I do anything? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even know how to do it. But yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. And all the listeners, you're gonna when you see I forget, you really are a comedian. That's a fact. I don't even need you are a model part-time. You are a comedian full-time. That's a fact. You're a content creator in general, but I feel like people you are you know what? You have to come on to our episode when we review or I review the soft white underbelly of the Mary Magdalene. Did you see the episode on that a little bit?
Yes.
No, I missed that. What's
Oh
that?
my God, because you're such a good devil's advocate in the corner. I'll send it to you tonight. You have to watch it. I'll try
Okay,
to
I
give
can
you
watch that before bed.
you should,
David's
because
like, yeah.
I'm going to send you I'll send you 2 different videos, but in a nutshell, listeners, go look at our previous episode. I'll put it in the description too, but
Yeah, send me like the best
basically
for that.
right. I mean, basically, I think that you are the first version I've ever met of someone who like don't judge a book by its cover, and that like you enjoy watching people assume you are one thing. You enjoy it. I know it. Long time now, Miss Pisces. You enjoy it, but you also love explaining yourself, like in convincing them how awesome you are, because you are a brilliant person. Like people don't realize that she went through her own addictions on a public platform and has no sorries about it, and I'm proud of you for that. So like Mary Magdalene is she's a porn star actually who is body modifying, and she believes in the Bible quite a bit. And Mary Magdalene is who she named herself after, because Jesus really was like, don't judge the whore, love the whore. Like you're seeing her on the book on the cover. But you'll have to watch this interview and join us on a future episode. We appreciate you, Marie, hanging in for such a long one here. You're always great, and
Definitely.
I appreciate you as a co-host. So thank you for coming on tonight. But everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. Please give us a like. Send out this video. We need to get our numbers up here. So subscribe if you're brand new. And
Yeah, like we gotta talk so I could like maybe I could broadcast it on my channel like simultaneously
please, that would
That'd
be
be
you want
awesome.
you want to reaction us? You could. You can laugh. We have moments. But no,
because
please come.
my subscribers miss me going live. So like if I'm live on
Please.
your channel, if I could
Can
like get it to
we?
my YouTube channel somehow.
Let's do it. Okay, I'm about to do a whole edible review. We're gonna do some conspiracies about Marilyn Monroe very soon. What else are we doing? The Bob Lazar we're gonna cover at some point. I know you're familiar with
Oh,
those.
yes.
Hell yes. And lovely Marie over here, she's educated in the alien, I'm saying it wrong.
Ufology.
Ufology. Sorry. Skip
It's
me,
all
people.
good.
They're shaking their heads. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, UFO,
Oh,
fiction or
dude, I wish
fact.
like I still talk to my truther friends because
Hey, hit
I
them up, find them, stalk them. They're somewhere.
yeah, I need to. We could get some
Let's bring
guests
them
on once
on.
in a while.
Hey, it's
That'd be
about to be
awesome.
9/11's anniversary. Would you like, I don't know if we're going to be on that night. If not, maybe me and you could get on. We could have some chit chats about that too, if you're down. But
Like I
give
said,
us,
just send me a message like an hour before and I'll let you know what I'm doing and if I can get on. It just gives me time to prepare.
you are an awesome example for the community of blossoming YouTuber. I'm proud of you, girl. I really appreciate
Oh,
you.
dude, I appreciate your friendship and it's nice meeting you, Marie.
She's
You as well. We'll
she's
definitely be talking again in the future for sure,
For
baby.
sure.
Yeah, subscribe everybody to Marie Tarot 504. You can find her on YouTube. And
It's a
Loner
brand new
Morrison. Is it Ashley or is it what do you go by for sure on YouTube? Let the listeners know.
Loner Morrison.
Everybody find her, subscribe to her, and until next time, guys, have a great night, everybody.
Be blessed and blessed be.